Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Aston Villa's all-time Premier League record scorer Gabby Agbonlahor joined the Breakfast Show this morning and said that psychiatrists could be exactly what Richarlison needs to get him firing again.
Now it is good to speak, and a lot of players are coming out, and a lot of people in general want to go and speak to psychiatrists, and it will help him because he didn't get signed by Everton, didn't get signed by Spurs after not being a good player. Didn't start in the World Cup for Brazil if he wasn't a decent player. But the Richarlison we've seen since signed for Spurs is not good enough.
How important, Benny, is mindset for goal scorers?
It's everything. Mindset's everything. You need to have. You have to have
more so than any other position on the pitch.
I don't know about any other pitch on the pitch, but from a striker's perspective, you need to have that mindset, that arrogance, self-belief, and confidence. You could be the best player in the world, and I've seen some great footballers lose their confidence, and you're almost like watching two completely different people. But you've got, even when you miss a chance, you have to have that mindset. Like, forget about it. You have to just forget about it. I remember my coaches at Ipswich, because when I was younger and I missed a chance, I'd really beat myself up about it. And for the next 10, 15 minutes, it would really affect me to the point where another chance might come. And because my mind's all over the place, I'd snatch at that one and that would be gone.
Do you have that at any level? When you're 13, is it exactly the same?
Exact same.
And how does that affect you in training? Is it only on match day that comes back?
No, but you obviously you rectify it in training, but that type of mindset only in his game situation.
No, but what I'm saying is if you're going through a really dry spell, right? Maybe you've gone. What was your longest dry patch you went through? 7 games, 8 games?
Yeah, 7 if I was playing.
Okay, 7. When you got to about 5 or 6, in training, are you having a nightmare or are you banging them in for fun in training still?
You still bang them in for training, like banging them in for fun, but then you get to that game and you just think, right, let me take that form into a game. But the point is, if you miss a chance in training, it's training, so you're almost like, whatever. But in a game, it's about, even if you miss the opportunity, it's got to be out your head within a seconds, because you know how the Premier League works, or the Championship. It's one of those where you put it out your head, 10 minutes later, the same chance or a chance might come. You've got to be in the right frame of mind, clear-headed to take that one. And at the minute with Richarlison, when you watch him, it's a little bit, because he hasn't scored, and I get it, when you're going for a bit of a barren run, you get a bit anxious. Like maybe your timing's a little bit off. Rather than relaxing and thinking, right, I haven't got to chase it. The opportunity will come to me, and when it comes to me, I'll take it. He finds himself maybe going away from what he'd usually do. So maybe, I don't know, pulling out to the penalty spot where there might be a bit of space. He'll try and run near post or try and run far post, and he'll find himself the ball landing where he's not. Just got to relax sometimes and go, do you know what? It will come to me. That's what I used to tell myself if I was on a goal baron. If I just keep making the same runs, the same movement, the ball eventually will hit me and go in. And I never deviated away from that.
Did you ever have a psychologist?
I think...
or psychiatrist? I don't even know what the difference. What's the difference between psychologist and psychiatrist? Same, isn't it?
I don't know. But I remember
Did you have help mentally?
I remember Steve McLaren bringing a guy in. I think his name was Dan Abraham.
What, England?
No, when he was Derby manager.
Where were you? Oh, right. Wow, okay.
Yeah, I think his name was Dan Abraham, and he was brilliant. I used to speak to Dan all the time. Like, he was good. Like, he even did this thing because we spoke about me trying to get back to the Premier League. Because I dropped down to the champ. I wanted to go back to the Premier League. I remember him I met him one time, and he gave me this board. And this board was massive. I say, big old, about a metre long, big thing, and had all positive aspects of my career. Bits like you'd see, I don't know, he might put
beach ball.
Beach ball might have been in there.
Oh, right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, or like me celebrating a goal for England,
call up,
or hat trick, or headlines, and saying, "Oh, this massive board where he's put a lot of effort into it."
Yeah,
and goes, "Listen, this is what you've achieved. Like, that person is still there. So you'd go for it. You look at it, and it was like really impressive. So he was brilliant. I really enjoyed working with him.
And that came at what stage of your?
I mean, it was towards the end,
right?
But it was still something that he put the effort in to go. Bloody hell, because you forget about certain moments, because there's so much goes on in football.
Yeah,
you never really have a chance until you finish to really look back at, wow, I did that. But when he put this board in front of me, it was like, wow. Like,
yeah.
He was like, this is you. Like, this is the person I'm talking to right here.
Negativity comes into it. You can either be a very positive person in life or a very negative person. Does that negativity from that player, not you, but other teammates you've had that you've kept in contact with since and they've retired, does it stay with them in other aspects of their life, do you think?
Sometimes, yeah. Certainly from a negative standpoint, if they feel like they've not really been given the fair rub of the green, and there's loads of footballers out there that feel like they should have done more, been given more opportunities, then they almost resent it. So it's almost like even when they've finished playing football and they go into their next career, whatever they decide to do, that negativity is still there. Like, it's always in their brains that they're like, I know what's going to happen here. I'll never get to where I should get to at this company because it just happens to me. That type of mindset.
Yeah. And just quickly going back to Richarlison, can a move end all that? Can you move club and boom, start again?
It's weird that. Yeah, because he moves, I don't know, in January and scores on his debut. His confidence all of a sudden goes
it's done, yeah.
Through the roof.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.